Hey, it's the Right Rican, and today, oh, what a day for me today. Just has been a crazy day. I just finished just mowing my lawn, so that's why you see me like this right now. Just because the fact that, um, I'm committed to making a video a day, and usually this is about the time, but I had so many things that had to be done today. So here I am, doing what I do, what I enjoy doing. So first up, I want to talk about this issue here. Here's the Trump takes aim at 35 Republicans who voted to form January 6th commission. And I think that moderates, right leaning individuals, they really do need to take aim at to get rid of these 35 Republicans because when the House gets taken back, these people need to go. At least a majority of them need to go because why would you cut off your nose to spite your face? The saying, because the only reasons the Democrats want to do this is to basically is for election propaganda in 2022. This is the only way they see themselves not losing the House in 2022 because they know that that's what's going to end up happening is they're going to lose the House because um, basically, as much as the media has propped up Joe Biden, people are having buyer's remorse with him, and they're seeing what's going on with the left. There's certain issues that um, I shouldn't even say that. No, that there's buyer's remorse. I don't think there's many people other than the staunch Trump haters that go, "Wow, I'm loving what Biden's doing," but that's what the media is doing is propping it up. So you could see the contrast, just so you could see the total direct contrast between well, this is just Obama 2.0 because this is what happened pre-Obama. This is what happened during the Trump administration, and then now with Biden, you see that the media like this, no criticism. They cover up, they explain things away for him, and that's the way it worked for 8 years with Obama, and now that's what they're doing again. And you don't have to have Trump win. You can have like a DeSantis, and the media is going to treat him like they treated Trump because the fact that they have an agenda. They're biased and they act like they're objective, but they're not. So here we go. I mean, so if the Republicans are going to take back the House and actually do something with the House, actually make a difference, is they need to get rid of some of these 35 Republicans who voted for this commission. Because look, listen, you had a summer of love. No, you had the summer of violence. You had a summer of it's not even summer because it's still going on now, but the news doesn't talk about it. You have the courthouse that was getting attacked in Portland and still getting attacked. How is attacking a federal courthouse, if January 6th was an insurrection, then how is 60 days of attacking a courthouse straight not quote unquote an insurrection? Why are we not investigating those events? How is it that um, the Justice Department declined to prosecute cases of even where there's been confessions that have been signed and they've declined to prosecute, even though they have a confession of what these people did because they're okay with it. So, how is it that you're going to do a January 6th commission, but you're not going to have a commission on all the violence that went on last summer, all the rioting that went on last summer? You don't have the Justice Department looking into those things, but that's the media for you. That's the way it works with them. They cover one side, their side, and they cover up. They cover up, or in the case of Trump, they found any little piece of dirt. They stopped doing real journalism. This is what they would do. Let's say one person reports a story, one news outlet reports a story. Let's say the Washington Post. Literally, to confirm the story, CNN, New York Times, MSNBC, they would all go to the same source instead of going to an independent source. And that's how they confirm the story, by going to the same source of the original source of the story, instead of uh, getting corroboration from another source. No. This is what's going on. And this is, this is why the news does, nobody trusts the news. Like I said, to me, I trust a news source that at least admits to their bias. Because if you admit to your bias, at least then I know what to look out for. But if you're saying you're objective, you're full of it. So, anyways, let me try to get to this next story here. Because if you want to start a commission, this is the commission that's needed. Jim Jordan speaks for the American people in demanding an investigation into the origins of COVID-19. And we need a real independent, not this BS, we're going to, get biased sources. We're gonna ask the Chinese, oh yeah, can you tell us if if your lab leaked it? Oh no, there's no way our lab could have leaked it. Okay, then that's good enough for me. No, that's not an investigation. We need to, because this is the whole thing. It's one thing if it just happened in nature and there's nothing you could do about it. It's another thing if the lab leak hypothesis is true. Then if that's the case, China needs to do a better job of safeties in their lab. And we need to stop funding these labs, because that's the whole thing. Fauci wants to act like they weren't funding, just because you didn't fund it directly. But if you gave money to an organization that is giving money to that lab, then what are you doing? That's your way of funding that lab. And that's what's going on. Let me see what I didn't read, I just saw the title, so we could just go through a little bit of this article together. Where did this thing start? Jordan asked a question that Americans have been now asking for well over a year. Did it jump from animal to humans, or was it a leak from a lab in Wuhan? The American people would probably like to know. After all, they've had their liberties assaulted for the past year. It's true. We just voted our Governor Wolf to basically limit his emergency powers, or take them away, that it should be in the hands of the legislature branch. And now he went ahead and extended an emergency that he's not supposed to be able to do anymore. So we'll see where that goes. But anyways, journalists want to know, Jordan said, referencing to the latest spat of articles from across the media spectrum that are revisiting this idea of a lab leak. And I remember that this was called, you were called crazy, you were called a conspiracy theorist. And, I remember my Facebook page got a strike because of I shared a Fox News article from a Chinese virologist who was talking about that it was a lab leak. Glad that it's been removed, so now I could boost my channel on Facebook now. But here goes. Jordan shared an article written by a former New York Times scientist writer for the New York Post as well, that said, for the lab escape scenario, the Wuhan origin for the virus is a no-brainer. Wuhan is home to China's leading center for coronavirus research. Researchers were genetically engineering bat coronaviruses to attack human cells. They were doing so under the minimal safety conditions. If the virus with unexpected infectiousness had been generated there, its escape would be no surprise. Why don't Democrats in Congress want to know where these things started? Jordan asked. And it goes, the NIH gave some $600,000 to the Wuhan virology lab, likely bypassing oversights, but put in place. Jordan demanded to know the relationship between Fauci, the lab, and the funding. Um, and everybody knows about the stuff that went on with Rand Paul and Fauci. So I'm not gonna go back into that, but um, I find that interesting that they don't wanna know that. But okay, let's go into this over here because it's interesting but disturbing at the same time. Because here it goes, rural rural Oregon counties look to join more conservative Idaho. Idaho Governor Brad Lidd said he supports the measure, but noted it would also have to be approved by the Oregon legislature and the U.S. Congress. An effort to move nearly 2 dozen of Oregon's most rural counties into a far more conservative neighboring state of Ohio has gained momentum, with 5 counties voting this week in favor of having local officials consider the issue, according to reports. This bid has been spearheaded by the citizens of Greater Idaho, which wants to relocate between 18 to 22 Oregon counties to Idaho. On Tuesday, Sherman, Lake, Grant, Baker, and Malheur counties joined 2 others who voted in November in favor of discussing the issue. Now, here is where I find it interesting. I don't think I'm gonna read more about the article. I'm just gonna talk to you why I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting because when you know what, let me go back to my screen share. I want to show a map of the area. Let's see something. Um, excuse me for a second. Let's see. Idaho. Let's see. So yeah, I just want to show a map of. Let's see. Here's the interesting part because you have some of these counties. I wish I could show by county here, but you have some of these counties that want to join Idaho. And the interesting thing is, you also have some parts of Northern California that also want to either create their own state or also kind of, uh, I think it would be like maybe like almost like this whole area over here become like a great, but I know they're talking about a state of Jefferson or something like that because Northern California gets out. Jason, basically, because what's going on in Oregon is this part of Oregon is more densely populated than this part over here. And basically, let's say these are the parts that are, overriding what these people want. Let's say this is rural area, this is city area. Let's say so these people want more stricter gun control laws and these people don't, because in this part of the state, you have less police, you have more rural areas that you need a gun in this area here. You don't have police in every corner to protect you. So like I said, I find this interesting because of all of that, all of those dynamics. um you would also, I don't think Oregon will actually approve it, and I don't think Congress is going to approve it either, because if you do that, um, you're going to see other states do the same thing. Because I know there's parts of Virginia that want to go back, that want to go to what become part of West Virginia, because of um, the way the cities are controlling also the rural parts of Virginia. So it's not something that, um, I think what's going on here, it's not only a conservative, uh, progressive issue. I think it's also a rural and urban issue, because you have these big cities that are, since they're densely populated, they're overloading the rural areas. Like the rural areas are losing their say so. So that's why some of these rural areas want to combine to make be able to rule themselves, so to speak. Um, and that's what's going on. The problem with all of this is, if you're going to have, let's say, super conservative states, super uh, progressive states, super liberal states, what's going to end up happening is you're going to, as divided as you're going to make the states, you're going to have a equally divided Congress. Because let's say then you're going to have some of these states, and some, they're not carved out, they'll have more, let's say, more conservative representation. So that means you have one or two extra conservative members in the in the House. Uh, so the problem with that is you're going to make it's going to be greater division. Not only then that division, I'll try to word it eloquently, is that what I'm trying to say is that you're going to see greater division, not only just in the House, then it's going to spread into the country, which we're already divided as it is, but this could lead either to a outright civil war or an amicable divorce. It'd be it'd be nice if we could just all agree that this is a good country and stop trying to fundamentally change the country, because that's the whole thing. That's what killed me. That's what killed me about Obama, because he just was like, "Oh, we want to fundamentally transform this country," and it's like, if you love someone, you love something, you shouldn't want to fundamentally change it. It's one thing where you go, uh, "Oh, well, you could afford to lose a few pounds. You could afford to lose some pound. I mean, gain some pounds. Maybe put some makeup on. Maybe don't put some makeup on. Maybe cut your hair. Maybe don't cut your hair. Maybe let your hair grow. Shave. Whatever. That's not fundamentally changing who someone is. And that's what you're talking about when you're talking about fundamentally changing this country. They want to, um, defunding the police, and um, racial quotas now, and segregation again. Um, I mean, some of the things that they call for, separate graduations, separate dormitories, um, you know, um, people of color only allowed to do interviews, stupid stuff that, look, listen, it's a meritocracy. Um, you're not going to see me in the NBA, for affirmative action, because I'm short, fat Puerto Rican. I'm not I'm not LeBron James at 6'9", 270 pounds, and diesel. That's not me. But you know what? As much as I don't like the guy, he's physically talented. He earned his place. I may not like his game. He may be he'll never be Jordan, even though that's who he wanted to be, but he'll never be Jordan. Um, but anyway, now I'm making a rant about that. So this is what my fear is with this stuff that's going on. It's the same thing they're trying to do. That's with my whole position about DC. It's like DC's was never meant to be a state. Now, if you want to just carve out the area that there's no residential area, you just have where the seat of government is, where the White House is, the National Mall, and all that stuff. You leave that DC, and the other areas where now there's residential area, you return them to the state of where they were. Excuse me, where they were annexed from. That's what needs to be done. Same thing like this. So if you do that, that's perfectly fine, and which would be perfectly fine with these states if they don't like what's going on in Oregon, and they want to join Idaho. As much as I think it's a scary proposition to keep doing that stuff, I think it's better to do that stuff than to have outright hostilities, because that's what you end up doing if you don't allow these states to just seed into other states so like that they could escape what they fear, what they deem is tyranny for them. So at the end of the day, I'm about freedom. Like if these states feel more, if these counties feel more free going into a different state, so be it. Let them go. We're supposed to be a voluntary union, not for. I mean, I know the Civil War kind of changed that, but really, I think if we want to avoid another civil war, maybe we allow these amicable um, releases of other these counties going into other states, just so like that they could feel they have better representation. So let me know what you think. That's my opinions, and um, I appreciate comments. So, anyways, I hope you enjoy my content. Please follow me on YouTube or Rumble if you're watching this. If you come across this and you enjoyed it, just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and follow me on here. And like I said in the beginning of the video, I try to make one video a day, at least one video a day. If something else comes up, I usually I'll try to, sometimes I'll make something else. Um, and I go from there. So you can also follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Oh, wait. Well, a special request for my prayer warriors out there. I got some news about my dad. So if I do, there may be a time when I'm doing my show. I might either have to do it from my just from my phone, or I might have to do it remotely without my background here. I'll have to just maybe go shoot outside or something like that because I might have to go help out my father and my parents. So just for those prayer warriors out there, please pray for um, my father. He's going to need surgery. Just don't know when they're going to perform it. So um, just weighing heavily on my mind. So I'm all over the place. So if it was a little sporadic today, I apologize. But you know, the show must go on. So that being said, have a good one, everyone.